We'll find out. This match determines whether Cabal
neither of them are very good in this matchup. I don't think.
So as I've been telling you, I think we're really going to get to see the Grixis Delver versus Czech Pile main deck. I typically believe, I mean, on a mold of 6 here, it's not going to be maybe as good. I really think the Grixis Delver has the advantage of the main deck. Dazes, Wastelands, all those things pretty good. Wow, this hand's not looking very good. Speaking of, it's Daze, Force, Jackson broke 3 lands on the mold of 6. Probably still serviceable. No.
Ooh, yeah.
It looks like he's keeping. Can't really see the scribe, but he's leaving it on top.
He's on the draw here.
He's on the play. We'll see.
Okay, he's on the play. I guess I kind of like Ed's chances. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell because like I've heard you talk about it, and like you're an okay.
Edward's hand's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That hand is.
Well, Wasteland will be.
Wasteland's still good against this hand, and Daze is at least serviceable.
Yeah.
You're going to catch that death right.
Yeah, you can catch the death right, unless Ed wants to protect with the
Force hand seems aggressive.
I would force pitching Snapcaster Mage. Like, you only have the Abrupt Decay to flashback. I probably would actually protect my Deathrite Shaman.
Wow.
I think the only way you lose this game is if you get Wasteland out of the game.
That's probably true. But I don't think Brian would have kept it on top. He actually kept a Deathrite on top himself. So, does that make you less likely to force the Deathrite knowing your opponent has a Deathrite? Yeah, I think
probably.
I agree with that.
Well, the Snapcaster Mage is worse in the face.
Brian should be at 17. He is Taxing Probed as well.
Yeah. The Force is worse in the face of the Snapcaster in his hand is worse in the face of the Deathrite. So I might still, like, maybe, I don't know. What I was going to say is,
but I don't think it's
I talked to you, and you were saying you think that Grixis Delver has, well, I don't know, Schlegel thinks it's close.
I mean, it's definitely close. You're dealing with a lot of 50-50 decks. I just think Delver has the advantage in the main deck. Here we're going to see this.
Edward drew another land, so I'd be less inclined to Force of Will if he dazes the Delver. And I think it's 100% correct for Brian.
I think Brian should be slam dunking this Daze. You see him thinking about it, and there it is. He does determine that Daze is the correct move to make, which I very much agree with.
And if I'm in Edward's spot, the fact I drew a land and he has a Deathrite, I think now I win Force.
Well, Brian's hand's now like lands and a Force of Will, so like unless he finds a Brainstorm, it's not looking terribly good. There's a Wasteland though. Do you like just firing this Wasteland off? Because I sure do.
I think so. I mean,
Brian seems
you
to
just saw his hand. Your knowledge, I think he has like a volcanic island, right?
Yeah, and there's only one more green source in the deck. There's only one tropical island left to cast green spells. You know he has a green spell in hand and only one more green source.
Yeah, that's
Edward
true.
on the land go. You're pretty happy to see that when you're the one with the Deathrite.
It's not very likely that Edward draws very. I mean, he only has that Abrupt Decay, and then like.
Looks like Brian may have picked up some kind of.
I'm in an Ed's spot. This is a surprising first land to play because if he draws another land, it means he can't cast his Abrupt Decay.
Right.
And you have more Underground Seas.
We should see a Baleful Strix here.
Yeah. It's gonna. If Brian hasn't drawn a blue card or another Daze, this is gonna help Ed. Hopefully, hit his land drops. Which I think is very important, talking to like Schlegel and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you can hit your land drops against Delver, you're
part of the reason Delver. There's another
shape.
land for Brian. Wow, that's looking like. I think he might have all lands in a Force of Will in hand. I mean, this is where Grixis Delver is just going to lose. Like you win because you're a more efficient deck than Czech Pile typically. But if all you're doing is picking lands and passing, then. Czech Pile's going to be playing more spells than you, and their spells are just more powerful. Yeah. So that's just the formula to lose, and that's how Grixis Delver is going to go ahead and lose this main deck game. But we'll see. I mean, a Brainstorm can turn this all around, which is one of the great things about Legacy. You're sitting here flooded out. A Brainstorm at this spot is probably just going to be an Ancestral Recall. You're going to put 2 lands away. You're going to get almost certainly 3 spells, and that can just change the whole face of this game. But he needs it pretty much now.
Ed's not going to do anything too fast.
Yeah, you can see Ed has the option here to go ahead and cast Abrupt Decay targeting the Deathrite Shaman, fetching up the Tropical Island, but chooses not to. I do like his patience here. I don't think the Deathrite Shaman is that important on this board state. Although Edward doesn't know that Brian's hand is kind of as bad as it is.
Yeah, there's no way Ed knows it for sure.
Yeah, so I definitely like this patient on Edward's side, respecting the potential for actual real cards in Brian's hand. But until we see a Brainstorm, I don't think.
I don't think you can snap off the Abrupt Decay in case he has draws a young Pyromancer and starts going crazy that way. But we know that,
wow,
even if he were to draw a young Pyromancer, it would be just a 2-1.
That's crazy. Brian only playing one more land. The traditional Grixis Delver decks. He's up to 19.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think he has a lightning bolt at least in his hand, but
oof.
it's not gonna do too
That's
much.
not going to pull the work of the 4 lands still riding in his hand.
Edward's gonna
Edward does
brainstorm
have the
himself.
brainstorm.
Brian's probably very jealous at this point in time.
I would do a lot for a brainstorm in Brian's position. That's for sure.
Now, if you're in Edward's spot, there's a lot of different cards you could be looking for here. Really, I find that if you were just able to play your spells, on curve, and especially if your Grixis Delver opponent's not doing anything.
Oh yeah, if your Grixis Delver's a literally one Deathrite Shaman and Goldfish, I think we're going to see an Abrupt Decay here because Edward, with the pass here, it signals that Brian's just got nothing going on, and Abrupt Decay can't even be countered. If Brian had a Wasteland, he probably would have used it already. It's very obvious that he has nothing. So I like the Abrupt Decay now.
Brian's
sitting there thinking what he wants to do, he can activate it before it goes away. And he's not probably not doing anything else. I do like an activation. Not sure why we're fetching first.
Yeah,
but
there's no reason. There's no creatures, and is he gonna bolt the
should put Brian
Baleful
to
Strix
14.
and exile it?
A green source. It looks like he actually is just going to. Maybe he is going to bolt this Baleful Strix and just exile it.
Doesn't want Edward commanding it back, I guess.
I mean, that's not even the most unreasonable thing.
It's not terribly unreasonable, to be honest, but
it's like we're just going to exile his Deathrite Shaman.
It's a little strange because I think I would want to save it for Brainstorm. Or he's going to exile Edward's Deathrite Shaman.
16,
Never mind.
yeah.
I forgot about the Deathrite Shaman in the graveyard.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what we got here.
Ed's spot right now.
I definitely like Ed's spot. I mean, Ed's hand was just so good.
Yeah,
I think Ed still has that Force of Will, still has that Snapcaster Mage, and now has all
Land
his
Leovold would be great. Land Liliana of the Veil would be great.
Basically, any spells on Edward's side is
pretty much anything.
pretty good in this open
Even
board
Land
state.
Pass is probably fine. Land Pass with a grip full of kill spells. You got to be a little worried if you're in Ed's spot. If my opponent draws a True Name and has maybe a bunch of Disruption, which if you're in Ed's spot, you could think that's what he has,
Right?
Because he couldn't have countered the Abrupt Decay anyways. So, this Delver, for example, could be in Ed's spot. You could think, hey, he's probably has like a million Force of Wills.
Right. Edward choosing to brainstorm here, going on instep with fetch land up, going for that perfect brainstorm.
Edward's got a couple of Force of Wills in his hands as well. Those are, going to 2-for-1 Ed, so presumably puts a couple of those back. Maybe any lands he finds. Going to fetch here. Probably get a Badlands. Give him a second red source in the face of Wasteland and a second black source if he were to draw something like a Liliana of the Veil.
Right.
Be pretty solid on this board. Just come down, Edicts the Delver Secrets.
I mean, I don't even think he cares that much about the Delver Secrets with the Baleful Strix.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't. I just like go ahead and getting it in play and getting a guaranteed 2-for-1, hopefully. Right. Although there may be merits to saving it for a True Name Nemesis.
Edward actually has not drawn as amount of lands himself. Like for a guy that started with 2 lands, being wastelanded and then making your 5th land drop is I mean, Edward seems like he may not have drawn that many things. Oh wow, look at these. When you're looking at these, what's it called? The Dragon Shield, like the smoked out.
They're the
double sleeves to where the back you can't see through.
Ultra Pro Eclipse.
No. So the double sleeves, like notice how it's darker.
Yeah.
So the Dragon Shield made some inner sleeves that have a darker back, so you can play face down cards in Dragon Shields.
So you shuffle this.
What are
3 spells, but we want to brainstorm that bad?
Yeah, I want to brainstorm that bad.
It's got a Ponder.
Oh, Ponder's probably good enough.
Yeah. Okay, I would probably keep it. I didn't see the Ponder at first. I thought it was like double Delver.
Well, it's because it's the incorrect Ponder art. If it were, for instance, the 3-ball art, now we'd be talking about a real Ponder. But instead, we're dealing with some kind of like fish
Baleful
boobs.
Strix? Sure.
I don't know why we're bolting Baleful Strix now.
We can get our Insect Operation into the red zone.
I guess that's true. But like, I don't know. We know about a Snapcaster Mage still, so you can just snap Decay.
Yeah, he could. I mean,
although not tapping like that, he can't. Hey, look, he figured it out. Boom. Here comes Snappy. All right, we're probably gonna look at a Abrupt Decay, post combat Delver. As soon as he gets around to putting this Delver back.
This at least forces him to use the Snapcaster on the Decay. And we have
And we're still looking at that force will he's had since opening hand.
Ponder on top of our deck that's going to flip us. Then we can fetch, brainstorm.
Well, I think I want the ponder. If we can find a ponder, that'd be. I mean, just
Well, the
cast the
Ponder's
ponder.
on top of our deck. I'm saying we can draw the
Fetch before pondering.
Ponder, fetch, hopefully draw a brainstorm and a fetch, and then put these crappy cards in our hand back.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know, something like that.
Mm,
Oh, he's definitely at 13, and Lefto was a little wrong because Edward didn't actually take that hit from the Delver.
All right, what are we looking at? Another Strix? There's another Strix.
It's a solid one, leaving up all his colors of mana.
It's true. Let's see. What do we got? The Deathrite Shaman, also a good draw. This is kind of where things begin to slip away, because even if you could start picking away things like the Snapcaster Mage and the Baleful Strix, I mean, you're looking at a Deathrite Shaman that's just,
Yeah.
I mean, or or you just,
He didn't set the Ponder on top. He set the. That makes no sense at all.
what is that, a Deathrite?
Yeah, he set his Deathrite. He put Delver on top, then
I mean,
Ponder.
honestly, for how things went, like, you can't attack with the Delver this turn, whereas your opponent did play a Deathrite, so honestly,
Yeah, but you could still Ponder and get the Deathrite anyways. You
mhm.
could still flip the Ponder, make your guy 3/2, then Ponder, and then if you want the
I kind of liked, okay, this is maybe not big, but I liked actually trading the Delver with the Snapcaster there, I think.
I don't, because
I don't know.
almost
I think we're
wanna
behind.
trade. I mean, the real problem is if he has a Call-Against command. I guess Call-Against command can get back Strix anyways.
I mean, I don't think we're going to be doing too hot against a call against command at any point in this game. Go ahead and cast this Ponder. What are we looking at? There's the Brainstorm. There's the Lightning Bolt. There's a Force Wheel. Well, we can put that back with a land. I think I like the Brainstorm and the Lightning Bolt.
For sure.
I'm slam dunking this.
I don't think we want this Force of Will.
But we're going to have to keep a Force anyway because we have a Force land in hand. So we have to cast Brainstorm here. I like bolting the Deathrite Shaman, just like or bolting the Strix. I guess both are pretty fine.
Another Force. We can put that back. We can put the other Brainstorm back. I'll leave the Forces in hand.
I hate that. I'd rather have the Brainstorm.
Yeah, but I'm not shuffling them, is what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know if he goes to play Snapcaster Mage. I want to be able to fetch an Underground, so I'd rather just draw the Force. Whereas now we have to like actually force the Snapcaster Mage. Does bolt the Strix.
I mean, I don't think he's going to play a Snapcaster.
Or like a Colligon's Command. I don't know. I wanted to leave up mana to exile with Deathrite Shaman. Should your opponent have the
Yeah.
Graveyard interaction that beats us here?
I mean, I don't think Ed would. I don't know why he would do that.
Do what? So now you have to force this instead of fetching a black source because you don't have access to the Brainstorm.
Well, why is? Yeah, I guess. Sure. I'm just surprised Ed would do that.
Here's a force back. Now I do actually like just fetching because it's not worth it. Like he's committed 2 cards to this into an open Deathrite.
Yeah, I don't know why he's committing.
I have no idea.
That's why I'm just like,
I think he wants him to shuffle. I don't actually know.
why would you want him? You don't know.
Yeah, here you go. Brian's catching him. He's like, well, you target that. I'm gonna fetch. Gotcha. Maybe Edward just didn't realize, but maybe you're just trying to get him to tap his Deathrite.
There's no reason to do this. I mean, I guess Edward gets to commit multiple, but like Edward's probably winning this race by kind of a lot. So maybe that's his plan. Is he's like, I'm gonna get this body in the, in here anyways.
Right.
It gets him to tap his Deathrite, so I can use my Deathrite next turn and just like flip the race against him. So maybe that's, the strat. And Brian's getting like super punished because Ed played that way, but like I don't think most people would.
I'm not even sure we're getting that punch. Like at the point at which Edward is willing to empty his hand to force this, I'm not even convinced that we're, getting that punished. You know what I'm saying? Now, do you attack here? Like, there's a bunch of Snapcasters on the table, and you're at 7. He's at 15. Once again, I mean, I feel like I'm trading a Delver for a Snapcaster Mage just to get this stuff off the board.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not winning this race. And Brian correctly identifies that, so he's just going to ship the turn back to Zach. Or sorry, Edward.
This is where a forked bolt would look just like really incredible. You know, this is where maybe Hickerson was maybe onto something about 3 forked bolts in a
Yeah.
room full of Czech and Delver. Because like here, like think how good a forked bolt would be. Just
Yeah,
like get this
it'd
out
be
of the
great.
way.
Instead, you're now trading a
You know,
insectile aberration for a Snapcaster Mage.
right.
And Edward can main phase this activation of Deathrite Shaman.
Put him in a 3, and then a lightning bolt's the kill. I think Edward only does have one access to one lightning bolt though.
Yeah, only one in Edward's deck. But
it's not terribly likely like it is with some of the other decks like Grixis Delver that he gets bolted out of this game, but I'm interested to see. Now he has Deathrite open to fight the wars, and there's that Force of Will. Man, Force of Will is always looking so anemic in this matchup.
yeah. Swing with Snapcaster Mage.
Well, I think you have to go to 1. Is that true?
You just die if you go to 1.
Block, gain life, hope to draw a bolt.
Yeah, I guess. Block, gain life, hope you draw a gold. He's going to gain life in response. If you don't, well, if you go to 1, Edward can, if you go to 1, you ship the turn back, you draw a bolt, and you're good. So if you draw a bolt, it's still.
So, but this is the better scenario because you're 2 life higher, right?
Well, he's down at. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Either way, you need to draw an answer to Deathrite Shaman here. I mean, obviously.
Right.
You
There's
have
Edward with
you
another
do have
land.
2 turns. You do have 2 turns to answer Deathrite this way, actually.
There's a land, so he's going to need that second turn.
Yeah, so maybe it was right to do it his way.
I actually don't like playing this fetch land at all. If he draws a brainstorm, at least lets him put a card back so he can have access to all his cards.
Well, he can force a will something. Oh, no, he can't. He can't because Deathrite just kills him.
Correct. Edward with 6 duels on the table has not drawn a small amount of lands himself. See, like, whereas now if he draws a brainstorm, he can cast brainstorm, put
Brian
4
Robar
lands
has
back
a
on top.
Snapcaster Mage. That would be
Yeah.
hilarious blowout if he just snapped whatever
drew it,
Edward was
right.
talking.
Looks like Edward is about to draw has drawn a Leovold, though.
That's
Oh, no,
not
it's not
mana.
Leovold.
Yeah, no, that's not mana for Leovold.
I don't think Brian's too unhappy about that one. Like, this Forza was not doing anything. Edward's,
Yeah, I mean,
Edward's the only one with cards still.
You
There's
still
another land for Brian Robarth. It seems to be the story of this game, so Brian's going to go ahead and pack it in. Try again next game, but for 19 lands, I don't think I've ever seen somebody draw that many lands. That was kind of a lot.
Yeah, that was a little insane.
And I mean, notice, I think the fact that Grixis Delver was still in that game that whole time is kind of indicative that, like, Grixis Delver is never really super even like a dog. Even the matches where you're behind, even the matches where you're maybe not even as favored, like, I mean, they have the tools. They play some of the best cards in Legacy, and they're gonna continue fighting, even if they do draw, 9 lands, over half their mana base.
Yeah.
So we'll move to the sideboards here. Brian Robart down a game. In the sideboard, we're looking at 1 Ancient Grudge, 2 Diabolic Edict, 1 Electrickery, 2 Flusterstorm, 1 Forked Bolt, 1 Grim Lavamancer, 1 Colligon's Command, 1 Null Rod, 2 Pyroblasts, 2 Surgical Extractions, and a True Name Nemesis. Now, Brian actually has a lot of these cards here that I think I'm pretty interested in. I'm definitely interested in the True Name Nemesis. I think I'm definitely interested in the Pyroblasts.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty interested in Colligon's Command. I think I'm interested in both Grim Lavamancer and Forked Bolt. Being able to just, pick off some of these things, I mean, they would have both been incredible last game. And, I mean, depending on how many outs I have, I mean, Electrickery, Diabolic Edicts, and Ancient Grudge aren't the worst. Ancient Grudge is kind of bad. It only hits Strixes for real.
He's only got 3 Strix, too.
Oh, does he only have 3
Not
Strix?
a full force.
Is there any equipment in the sideboard?
No.
No GT? Okay, so Ancient Grudge is probably not good enough. Electrickery is probably just worse than both Forked Bolt and Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah,
but if you need more ins,
of that.
it could be fine. And
I think even your Disruption's still better than all those, though.
And I don't think Diabolic Edict is terribly good. I mean, catching Snapcasters with Baleful Strixes isn't great. So likely, we're probably just boarding in Forked Bolt, Grim Lavamancer, Colligon's Command, 1 True Name, and 2 Blasts. Which is still, honestly, that's like, 6 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Yeah, so probably some of the Force Wills and Therapies.
Almost all, yeah, like, probably 1 or 2 of the Therapies and, like, all the Forces. I think Force is just not very good in this matchup at all.
Yeah, if I'm on Edward's side, we have 2 Flusterstorms, 3 Surgical Extractions, 2 Pyroblasts, a Liliana the Last Hope, an Ancient Grudge, 2 Diabolic Edict, 2 more Hymn to Torok, a Marsh Casualties, and a Nihil Spellbomb. The Marsh Casualties is going to be great against Young Pyromancer, and that's about it, actually. And True Name Nemesis, actually.
And Unflipped Delvers. I mean, you have
Yeah,
things.
it has enough things that it
It's
catches.
definitely good enough.
The Diabolic Edicts can kill the True Name Nemesis and Gurmag Angler, but are like really bad against Young Pyromancer. I'm not sure I would be super interested in those, but I could see an argument for 1 or 2. Liliana Last Hope is going to be amazing against the Young Pyromancer, and serviceable against serviceable against Delver. I think it's above the bar on the draw. On the draw, maybe not, but I would probably be
Honestly,
inclined
just like
to bring it in.
recurring strix is probably good enough. I think I'd probably end up bringing that
Yeah,
one in here.
probably. And then the Pyroblast. Normally, I wouldn't like him that much against Delver, but the fact that he's going to have 2 True Name Nemesis and a Snapcaster post board,
Right.
I would probably
Makes
be
it a
in
little
on
more tempting.
those.
Yeah, typically I don't very much actually like Pyroblast against Delver at all. Like, you're not really fighting Counter Wars too terribly much because this is a fair deck matchup. And, like, killing Delvers is, you have plenty of things that do that. But, like, yeah, like you said, True Name Nemesis is kind of a hard one to answer, just in general. So, being able to counter True Names, being able to, like, fight any, like, counter spells wars you may be interested in. And like, it obviously still kills Delvers and counter Snapcaster.
Yeah.
I think it does enough. You could definitely justify at least bring in 1, maybe even the second.
Yeah, I like Marsh Casualties. I don't know if I like Diabolic Edict that much, to be honest, like either one. I like the 2 Pyroblasts. I like the Liliana Last Hope. That's 4 cards that I like from Ed's side.
Right.
If I was going to board some stuff out, on the draw, I would definitely board out probably the Hymn to Torox. Probably 2 of the Force of Wills. I don't really like Jace against Delver, but I think he's still better than leaving in all 4 forces.
Right.
And I think the Thoughtseizes are going to be better than the Force of Wills and better than Hymns when you're on the draw, so I would probably leave those, even though I'm not super excited about them.
Makes a lot of sense.
Flusterstorm's probably not good enough.
In general, like from what I've heard, the formula is you really only bring in Flusterstorm if they like have like stifles. Like you bring Flusterstorm
Yeah.
against stifle decks. That's
Edward has a lot of cards that I like. He doesn't have a lot for this matchup. I mean, I guess you could bring in 1 Edict over like maybe you just leave in 1 Force, or maybe 1 Edict over a Jace. It's going to kill 2 True Names, maybe a Gurmag in a pinch, but it can be really bad.
Oh yeah.
So
It definitely can be awkward, but I think it's probably still good enough. Gurmag's just really hard to answer for his deck, so I think we're probably interested in.
I mean,
going to a
Gurmag.
second Edict.
Gurmag is. You say Gurmag is hard for his deck, but he already has 1 Edict main actually.
Yeah.
He can possibly catch it with Liliana, possibly bounce it with Jace, and then most importantly, block it with Baleful
I don't know.
Strix.
I'm really in on just cutting both chases. They're so bad. That card is just always incredibly bad against Grixis Delver. They're bringing in blasts. They're bringing in they're gonna leave Dazes in their deck because it's great. Not only is he on the play, but it's just good in the matchup. Like
Maybe I'd leave 1. There's no way I'm gonna have
Lightning
all
Bolt.
my Force of Wills though. Like I want to cut.
so maybe we should bring in Edicts over the Force Wills.
We already have 1 Edict main.
Yeah, the second can't be that bad.
I don't want to cut both my Jaces.
I want to cut them both. I think they're so bad. I always cut every copy of Jace. Get it out of the deck. I'm not trading my 4 mana with his 1 mana or his no mana. That's just not happening.
I think this is more similar. I mean, I don't know like what kind of decks you've played against them normally, but I think this is like more similar to like Shardless, for example, against Grixis Delver. Like, I usually like keeping in one Jace because when you do have Thoughtseizes, when you do have like you're trading with each other much more often, like a control deck, you can run them out of cards and they run you out of cards, and it is a bomb top deck.
Maybe. That's
Like-
entirely possible, but yeah, I don't know.
Like it's
I
kind
still
of
think
like
it's not much
Jace against
discard.
Punishing Jun. Like there's a lot of decks where Jace against Punishing Jun is.
So you see like Trickery there, and Brian Rovar's hand did end up liking that one. This hand actually looks pretty good on Brian Rovar. He's got
Yeah.
2 lands, lots of good spells.
True name, I think, too.
Very interested.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
Collins, man. Yeah, this hand looks great.
Collagons, Brainstorm, yeah, that's
Don't
gotta
know
be
what
a
Edward is.
sign.
Looks like
Yeah.
Edward has also kept his hand.
Brian seems like he's thinking about
Brian
this.
looks like he's not so sure. I don't know. I'm
Maybe he thinks he needs like a
very
more.
interested in this hand.
Yeah. It does kind of play towards what Czech wants to be doing, which is grinding out the game. Like
Yeah.
there's no turn 1 Delver.
I think
no-
the fact you
no
have like
Death
turn
Right.
2 Brainstorm with like a fetch land is just good enough.
For sure. The real thing is the True Name can actually go to toe with what Czech's
Right,
trying to do.
absolutely.
Like, even if they're drawing more cards and whatnot, True Name invalidates so much of what they're trying to do. I mean, Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, Baleful Strix. True Name doesn't care about any of that. So I think, that's absolutely. If it wasn't for that, if the True Name wasn't insane, I may actually reconsider. Because I don't think Electricity is, like, that good enough at the time.
Right.
But it stays on 6 with a Brainstorm and Scry. It's got to be good enough.
There's a wasteland. I think I'm brainstorming here in Brian's shoes.
Yeah, same here. I think the Electricity is bad enough. You're probably going to draw, like,
Also,
one other bad card.
brainstorming main phase in case you draw like a creature you want to
Yeah.
play or something like that. I think passing here, I mean, once again, you're playing to what Czech Bot wants to be doing, which is
Yeah, I
just picking
definitely
draw
would have
steps.
brainstormed there. Try to look for a Delver. Try to look for a Deathrite Shaman.
Or even like days, just like stuff that you now have. Like now you brainstorm, you don't know if you have a days or not, right? So like you don't know if you can count this. Whereas if you just brainstorm main phase, you have a little more information. You know if you're daisy or not. I mean, I think even in Brian's shoes right here I'm brainstorming, which he seems to agree with this. But like a Delver plus days would be convincing enough for me to keep it there. Looks like Pyromancer, Snapcaster, Land are the 3 cards he's.
So I think I
Looking
put back the land. Maybe is Electricity.
Electricity hits each, so I don't know. I definitely like Electricity. I think I want to hold on to it here. Because there's a good chance we can get a 2-for-1 with that. Well, not a 2-for-1, but
I
like.
kind of like the Wasteland though.
I do like the Wasteland with this main land. I actually don't think I'm shuffling no matter what with this hand.
I kind of feel like I'm putting back Electricity and just saying, like, your Baleful Strix is fine. I have a True Name Nemesis and a Young Pyromancer to go wide.
So
I don't
maybe put the
care.
Electricity beneath other
Yeah,
spells?
and I'm saying, like, I would put that Valk back and the Electricity and just shuffle. And then play Young Pyromancer, Wasteland, you maybe. And, like, he could answer your Young Pyromancer. I mean, playing a naked Young Pyromancer might be wrong, but you can at
Looks
least
like Brian
call
is
on
interested in shuffling. It looks like he's definitely selecting cards based on what he wants to keep. So I would not be surprised to see a shuffle here on Brian's part.
Yeah.
This is going to resolve.
Yeah, he put the Snapcaster back, which makes me think maybe he just, that might play too much
But I
to
think
what
you
Czech's
still
trying to
definitely
do.
need a 3rd land, so I think I need to take a draw step here. He put 2 lands back. You really want to be able to cast. I want to be able to cast True Name here.
Yeah, that's true.
Brian does not appear to agree. No, I think he still has the Wasteland in his hand. Never mind. He still has
Yeah.
the choice. I'm interested to see just
Or yeah,
how
no,
patient
yeah,
Brian
my
is.
bad. I would put the Electricity back and just jam would I have jammed the True Name? Probably would jam the True Name. Yeah, I probably would just put Electricity back in the Valk and jam the True Name. Untapped.
Looks like he thought the Snapcaster wasn't going to be as good as the
It
Electricity.
is a little slow, and the only spell you have to flashback is the Electricity, so it's not an unreasonable decision. Like, you're not really wanting to flashback the Electricity. You do want to flashback the command, but that's 5 lands. I mean, that's a little more than you want to draw in Delver. Snapcaster command's fine for Edward's deck, or like control deck, but in Brian's deck, he
Yeah, I mean, and like I
doesn't
said, Brian
really
still does
want
have the command. So like, even if this True Name gets
So are you
waxed with something,
jamming True Name?
I'm jamming True Name with a Collargon's command in my hand. I'm jamming True Name.
Yeah, I guess.
And then that's actually a Ponder. Actually, I don't know. Whoa, Young Pyromancer plus Ponder is tempting. I didn't see the Ponder in his hand.
Yeah, I think he just drew it. I think I would jam.
I like Young Pyromancer plus Ponder because that protects you entirely against. I mean, it does still get you blown out by Marsh casualties, but protects you from all the Edict effects. Gets you blown out by Pyromancer and Deluge. I mean, not Pyromancer. Marsh casualties and Toxic Deluge. It looks like we're jamming True Name here, though.
Yeah,
Bam.
this could go wrong if Edward, has like 1 or 2 of his Force Wheels in his deck and has a Liliana. He could Liliana you next turn, force your Colligon's command back to get the True Name, and
I feel
then
like that's asking for
tick
kind
it
of
up.
a lot from Edward.
Yeah, it is asking for a lot.
I don't know. I think I do actually, in hindsight, really like the jam here. It's just a quicker clock. You get to just ignore this Baleful Strix, and like, you kind of honestly you're presenting yourself to be vulnerable. You're like, hey, look, here's a True Name. I'm jamming it. Have it. You kind of almost have like the beat my True Name check, and so that's going to tempt Edward into like jamming whatever he has that goes a True Name here. And then that Colligon's command is probably going to wreck whatever he's got going on. This looks like it might be the Liliana, though.
Actually grab that land.
So I'm going to go pause the players.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or I think he fetched with the Misty. He's gonna realize in a second. Probably gonna grab a Bayou instead if he has a Liliana of the Veil. It's Probably a Liliana coming up here. Probably going to go with a Bayou. So this is almost assuredly a Liliana the Veil. Can't imagine why LT would need double black.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it could be like a hymn to Torok.
It could be. I don't know why you'd have him on the draw. I mean, I
He just
guess.
didn't have enough outs. Oh, it is the Diabolic Edicts. Holding up black. Brian's going to go ahead and Hollywood check the hand, see if he wants
And
it.
maybe he has a Thoughtseize to follow this up. I don't know why
That'd
you
be
would
really good.
lead with the thoughts. Oh, just a Deathright makes
Oof.
sense.
Honestly, now I really like just Colligan's Command, kill Deathright, get back True Name.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
super enticing.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, definitely want to use that Colligon's command now. If you draw a land, you can Wasteland.
Oh my gosh, I like it so much. Now, do you wasteland Bayou or Underground? I kind of like Bayou. So I like fetch here, go grab probably a red source. Does he have any doubles of any of the other colors? He just seems like he has a bunch of red spells before. So I feel like I would go grab another Volcanic, cast it, then wasteland it. I'm not sure, like, you're not really playing around days because Czech doesn't play days.
Oh no, you're definitely not. I'm thinking about. I think I would waste his Underground. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know what I'd waste.
I'd probably waste his Underground. Just because he doesn't have very many. Like I think there are more turns where Edward could just like brainstorm and want to play like a Baleful Strix or
You
something.
know, or just like Snapcaster plus another blue card.
Yeah, I think
You may be right.
double blue. Like I don't think green is that important to him. He has 2 Leovolts and a, and
Tasker activation.
yeah, there's that.
Activate Deathright. Come on, look at all these activations.
Either way, I definitely think
The other half of Ancient Grudge. Come
Good.
on. Let's see what he likes. Kill both his creatures. Wow. That seems.
Yeah,
I don't like that near as
especially
much.
you have Electrickery in hand already to answer the Baleful Strix.
Yeah, I like.
I would
See,
have definitely returned the True Name Nemesis there.
and he blew up Bayou. I don't agree with this hand. With this
Blowing at the
line too
Bayou is
much.
probably fine because like, in order for him to play True Name here, he would need to fetch like a tropical, and I don't think Edward really wants to fetch a tropical. He'd rather have red mana. So blowing at the Bayou actually might be the red.
Correct.
Because if you blow up, yeah, he probably has a Leovold here, and if you had blown up the Underground Sea, he could have gone in for a bulk instead, and that would have been better for Edward. So it probably was right to actually go for that. Yeah, and he doesn't have the Snapcaster anymore too. He just has like Electrickery and what else?
Yeah, like I don't like blowing up the Baleful Strix if you're gonna hold on to the Electrickery.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I want to blow up the Deathright because it does that Electrickery and get back the True Name Nemesis. The True Name Nemesis is just gonna be good.
100%. That's what I would have done. I don't think that Baleful Strix even really matters in the face of a True Name Nemesis.
Right, agreed. I mean, you're just so much
Who
faster.
cares?
You're literally 3 times as fast.
Here comes probably Leovold.
Yep.
So blowing up the. And he has a.
And the Ponder still rotting in hand. See Brian flick it a little bit. Probably a little tilted that Ponder's not going to do what he wants it to do. Because he wanted to go
Yeah, we may.
Young Peasy. Oh, there's that Daze, I think, right on time.
Gosh.
Yeah. So now I just play Young Pirates or say go, I think.
Well, okay, so Electrickery only kills. It's probably really bad, but no, you can't even Electrickery. It's each, not. Is it each?
It's
For
each
one
if you
mana?
overload.
Oh, you can't even do it.
Yeah, because then they draw a card. Well, you can
Yeah.
do it. You just don't want to do it.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if like this Pyromancer goes to get blown up, you can just daze it. That gets you at least a counter. I mean, a token. Yeah, I'm taking this.
Edward's gonna go aggressive with the True Name
You mean the Leovold?
or the Leovold. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I like this attack from Edward. I mean, you're very solidly ahead. And, I mean, I'm not really that scared of a Pyromancer say go.
Spellbomb.
Wow.
That's an interesting one. I wouldn't have put that coming in, to be honest, against the one Gurmag Angler.
Well, there's one Gurmag, one Snapcast Mage, Death Rights.
Death Right. Okay, maybe it's fine. He did have a lot of things that we wanted to get out, so I can see
Multiple
it now.
Colligons commands. I don't hate it.
Oh, multiple?
Yeah, he's got one main, one side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he has Grim Lavamancer too. It's actually probably pretty good.
Edward's just going to go ahead and cycle it. Doesn't have much going on, it looks like.
Yeah, you know what?
Notably, actually, Edward's kind of opening himself up to daze here. Like, if Edward draws a 1-drop he wants to play, he's going to get dazed. Looks like he did not, however. Lightning Bolt? Is that a snap question? That's such a taxing pro, but you can't actually draw a card. And if you target your opponent, you have to target yourself because if you target your opponent, they draw a card.
Yeah.
Here you see Leovold just showing its true power, just being able to truly disrupt everything that not just combo decks are doing, but actually fair decks as well.
Brian Robard needs. If Brian Robard draws a lightning bolt at any point in time, this is very
Yeah, this game could be
huge.
Pyromancer will run away with this game if he ever draws a lightning bolt or a pyroblast. Either
Yeah.
one of those will go ahead and dispatch this Leovold. But in the meantime, this Leovold is just locking down everything Brian's doing. I mean, when this card came out, this is, people thought it was just generically too expensive. You'd rather just be playing a True Name for the same mana cost. But I mean, here, I honestly think that Leovold's kind of better than a True Name would even be here by a fair amount.
Yeah, Leovold's proven himself to be a pretty solid legacy card.
Got banned in Commander. Apparently, he disrupts too many people.
Well,
A Deathrite Shaman, not exactly what you're looking for, but not a completely dead draw. Kind of
at least
embarrassed
it can
by
fight
your opponents.
Edward's death, right?
Still, just not a lot of movement on Brian's side. A lot of just trying to stay up.
Exile target card from target player's graveyard or something silly to where it was worded in a way that Leovold drew a card.
Leovold drew a card off Deathrite activations. That would be absolutely disgusting.
So here we go. How close are we getting to the Taxian probe myself?
I think we're at it. There it is.
And he does target himself.
Make sure he doesn't draw a card.
Oh boy. Well, clearly. Oh wow.
Brian, I think this might just be like an act of desperation and tilt. Because I do not like this one bit.
I still think you have plenty of time to draw a kill spell for Leovold and, potentially run away with the game. But maybe with all those lands, the Daze isn't doing too much. Could be. I mean,
that is possible.
You can
also notably, you can block the Leovold with 2 tokens and then Electrickery. I think Electrickery is an instant. You can just fire off the Electrickery and kill Leovold.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be what Brian's looking to do here. Still a 3-for-1, but
I mean, it unlocks your hand, so it could be reasonable. It buys enough time. You could also block with 2 and a Deathrite Shaman, and then it blows you up your Deathrite Shaman. Then you can, get him to use a...
I'm trying to see what's happening here. Looks like there's a summoning sick Deathrite Shaman. Maybe he tried to activate or something. Brian Robart going to 9.
Edward's going to fetch on his upkeep. He did Brainstorm last turn.
Go ahead and get rid of those bad cards. Find
Probably
me some new cards.
Yeah, grab Volcanic Island. Edward's mana base is a little interesting. I talked about Misty Rainforest not being able to grab the Badlands, and it mattered so much early in this game. And he's got 4 Misties. Odd.
Just like Scalding Tarn over
Yeah,
it?
I think the deck's more of a Grixis deck than a Sultai deck, but Edward seems to disagree. He's got 2 Verdants, 4 Misties, and 4 Deltas. No, mine's 4 Polluteds, 4
Could just be a budget thing. But I think they're pretty close in price. A Deluge.
Paying
Yikes.
probably 1.
Probably 1.
Yeah, I think my Death Right's more important than his.
Yeah. And you can attack with Leovold for 2 this turn.
Oh, no. Wrong person.
Here
Edward's
we go.
life total goes
Have
down.
it solved.
And Edward is only going to play 1. Values his Death Right more than his opponent's. This makes sense. And going to come in with the Leovold.
Can't block. You have a 0-1 death right for the turn.
Well, you can block.
You have the option to.
I mean,
Did we find a lightning bolt?
well, he isn't. We haven't.
Oh, we have not drawn yet.
Yet.
Looks like he's considering the Electrickery just to kill the death right.
Well,
Don't hate it.
is it each? 2 to each?
Each you don't control.
But is it 2?
No, it's 1. If you
it's
overload. Just kills the death right.
Oh, sure.
2 would be very good.
Yeah, if you're in Edward's spot, it's a good thing you paid 1 there. I didn't even think about.
If you pay 2, just being able
Yeah,
to wipe your field.
killing the
That would have
Leovold.
been very, very good.
Yeah, that could have flipped the game on its head. So
Good tight play. Good heads up play by Edward.
I don't know if he thought about it.
Another young Pyromancer. Wow. Still not really. I mean, having your own death right as Brian is pretty good, but
You don't have a. He doesn't have a drop out though. So he can't even gain life.
Right.
He's gonna have to chump block with it next turn. Yeah, next turn if he
Right.
doesn't.
Well, Edward could still have the 1-up lightning bolt here. Looks like.
Ugh.
A Colligon's command.
Turning his own death right. Can't even do anything about it because once again, you don't have the trap out. It's awkward how Brian tapped. He actually tapped his Black Source to play the Young Pyromancer.
Once again, it may either be tilt, just a little bit of mistap. Brian has not had terribly representative games. Ironically, these games have been closer than they've appeared, but like in general, Brian's been fighting from behind all of these games.
Yeah,
Lightning
that's
bolt,
not somewhere that Delver wants to be.
not even a little bit.
Needs to be a Lightning Bolt probably now.
He's been lightning bolt. Power blast still alive.
You can at least.
We found it.
Ooh.
Edward still hasn't done much. The token resolves before the card. Right? Active player first. I think so. I don't think it matters.
It's his stuff goes on.
Here comes the ponder.
His goes on the stack first.
And we may have just seen a missed trigger here on the Young Pyromancer. He may have announced it verbally and we don't see it, but
Yeah, it's going to be huge. And those are
there's
some
a
good
Snapcaster
cards.
and
There's
a
Snapcaster and a Lightning Bolt.
Lavamancer. Wow, just like a lot of good stuff to get you back in the game. Let's go
He
ahead and
did
pick off
miss
that
a
death right
trigger.
too.
He missed one of the triggers.
Yeah, missed the trigger off the ponder. It's a lot of. Again, he's just super excited now to be in this game. I think.
Go ahead and punch Edward for 2. Edward hasn't been doing very much for the last couple turns, so
Notably, our life totals are incorrect with the tables, and I think it could be really relevant. They have Brian at 7, we have him at 6. This may just be like I forget to change the die from a fetch land or something like that. They are annotating it on pen and paper, but we can check that later. Snapcaster Mage for Colligon's command going to be a pretty good one here. Being able to go ahead and shoot
Kill,
the thing, return.
Leovold?
I kind of like returning Deathrite.
Oh, yeah. You can get Deathrite and play it this turn off of
And you can block tokens.
You can. Yeah, you have to go get a. Yeah, if I was Edward, I would have done things differently because now you have to go get a Underground Sea. As
Yeah.
opposed to the other way, you could go get a second Volk.
Right.
So Edward should have probably sequenced things a little differently, but
Edward probably just happy about the haymaker here.
no matter.
So this Snapcaster should go ahead and hit a Lightning Bolt. Now, this Lightning Bolt is definitely targeting this Deathrite Shaman. Looks like Edward has a land in hand. Edward might have just like flooded out really bad this game. So we may see Brian begin to come back here. I like attacking with 1 token. It's a free attack, right? Oh, he likes attacking with 2 tokens. Wow.
Getting aggressive.
When you're not ahead on life, that does seem very aggressive. But Brian, I mean, with a Lavamancer on top of his deck, like he can start playing this game.
Yeah. A lot of answers are going to be huge, but Edward has a lot of good draws,
Ooh,
and that
Brainstorm
is
is a very
among the best.
Brainstorm is such an incredible top deck in these fair deck mirrors.
See, and you see here, Jace, I think, because of the way these games play out, they're more, Jundish. Like, people are just playing out their spells and stuff.
Well, with this spot for sure.
Jace would be...
But there's been a lot of bolts cast in the last few turns. If Jace had shown up in these previous turns, I don't think it'd be near as good. Liliana Last Hope. Okay, it's not. But if it was, I think Liliana Last Hope would have been incredible.
Yeah, and I think...
Now, see, I don't want to block. I want to block with a token. I don't want to block with a Snapcaster Mage, which is why I don't like attacking for that free point. Now you see Brian Robar probably
doesn't
taking
want
it
to
here.
attack. He's a maniac. I guess their life totals are right. I'll just do 5. So
Go ahead and correct the life totals to the tables. May have missed something. Here's the Lavamancer. More than enough power to block Leovold profitably. Well, not profitably, but at least trade with the Leovold without getting them a card. Edward going to go ahead and fetch and grab the Volk on top of his deck.
Ooh.
Oh, very fancy.
Yeah, that was a sweet move.
And this game's still very close. Leovold not looking as good here as he has in previous turns, because honestly, Grim Lavamancer could just begin to, actually just reach over Edward and shoot him out of the game, while also threatening to kill Leovold with a token.
He will draw a lot of cards that way. It's not like punishing Fire Grove like we were talking about earlier. Whenever he draws a kill spell for the Lavamancer, it will be, very bad.
Correct.
But
In the meantime, it just holds the Leovold at bay, because I don't really want to attack
oh
into
yeah,
a token and a
for sure,
Lavamancer
for sure
activation.
not.
This may be a
Ooh.
Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like you said, good at this moment in the game. That's exactly when you drew
Yeah,
it.
I think too much of the game is going to play out kind of like this, to where I would still like having at least 1 in my deck.
That is definitely true.
You bounce your own Snapcaster,
I
right?
am absolutely Fate Sealing. He likes brainstorming. with Brian Rohrer being handless, I absolutely like
Ooh,
Fate Sealing. But
and he tapped incorrectly. He drew a Liliana the last hope off that.
oh no,
So if he doesn't have a fetch land here,
he
he's
does
not
not.
going to
He
be able
can't
to play it.
But I mean, Liliana Last Hope is just going to be just as incredible next turn as it would be this turn. Go ahead and you get to pick off the Lava Mancer.
Yeah, this is looking kind of. This reminds me of how sometimes Shardless Bug plays out against Grixis Delver, where you probably have about one Jace in your deck, and you just kind of.
Wait to draw it.
Yeah, you just draw it eventually. In the early turns, maybe you brainstorm away, but then you eventually find your Liliana, and just. Usually it's the Veil, but run away with the game from there.
Let's see what we got here. Is this a Pyroblast? A Lightning Bolt going after Leovold. Let's see. That's
Well,
very
now
shitty.
you can. You do
Attack
have
both tokens at Jace and then Lava Mancer it down.
You can attack all out at Jace if you want.
And just kill it, and then Lava Mancer the Snapcaster. Actually, you just Lava Mancer the Snapcaster and attack all out.
And it
Looks like
seems
Mitch
like
has,
Mitch, of course you drew Steve.
of course you drew Jace.
Jace. Stevenson drew worse than his opponents. So there's the attack. Here's the Lava Mancer at the Jace. Jace is going to be finished off here. Yeah, if I was Edward, I would have probably Fate Sealed last turn as well.
Yeah, I very much like
I was
Fate
joking
Sealing.
about the bouncing around Snapcaster.
I
but-
mean, honestly, there's times where it's correct. I've definitely done it before, but it's usually you have to be in a very interesting spot. Like, you know, you need to snap a Council's Judgment, and you only have one Council's Judgment in your deck kind of spot before you're willing
Here's
to
a Lightning Bolt from
fire that
Ed.
off. Call me greedy, but
Wow,
I want to hold it.
Brian
Yes, I love
Rovar.
this. I love this play by Edward Knight. Going straight face. Pyroblast your untapped Snapcaster.
Oh, this is nasty.
I
He's going
like
to get
this.
him.
Looks like Brian figuring out if there's anything he can do about this.
So they're going
Now, see,
after,
this is where you got punished for the play
got
you were
punished.
talking about, where you should have attacked. He should have attacked all out at Jace. And
If
then
he wants to
you should have
block.
Lava Mancer down the Snapcaster and attacked all out at Jace.
Here's Liliana.
Leon Last Hope, go ahead and get that blocker out of the way.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, I see. He's just being overly cute. He Pyroblasts his own Snapcaster so
Oh,
he can
the
return
snap.
it with the Liliana.
Wow, that's just way too cute.
Well, his opponent has no cards in hand.
When you know your opponent has no cards in hand, I guess that's fine. But
Whatever.
Edward being a little flashy with it to go ahead and block up.
That is sweet. If he has no cards in
Come
hand,
on.
you gotta go for
Oh
that.
my gosh, fine.
That was sweet.
Lock up the 2-0 against
Brian's
Brian
asking
Rovar.
him why.
Yeah. Edward's probably just like, oh, I wanted to be cute.
I wanted to do more. Come on.
Porque no los all.
Whew.